Hi everyone, Brian from Bear Traders here. It's Wednesday, April 27th. This is, of course, midweek video. We'll take a look at what's happened so far this week and then try to figure out where we're going. But a lot of the action that we've seen so far in the markets this week, pretty volatile, and a lot of it driven, of course, by earnings, underlain, of course, by all the other stuff that's we've been talking about going on in the market, such as fears about inflation, rising interest rates, China lockdowns, and Russia if we don't have enough things to be concerned about. So let's take a quick look at what's been happening so far. Okay, so before we start looking at some charts, as always, quick plug for my book on Amazon, How to Swing Trade, Rules, Routines, Strategies of a Swing Trader. So it's there on Amazon. Now let's take a look at some charts here and see where we've been so far. Start out with the 2-year chart. Treasury yields. You can see here we're kind of topping out. We do seem to be sort of hitting at least an area where we're consolidating. We have been really overbought here after this monster run up, and just doing some consolidation on the yields. And you can see here had a bit of a pullback today, although we did start lower and then ended up a little bit higher on the 10-year. So again, we flirted with that 3 and almost got there, not quite. So you can see here what kind of week we've been having. This was last week, couple of big down days. We did have sort of a comeback Monday, and then just a rout on Tuesday with the transports, and a bit of a comeback today here on the transports. And you can see there we're just down at around this area where there has been prior support on the transport, so I suspect we may be stuck there. We'll skip over the weekly charts. The Dow, again, you can see what happened here on the Dow. We did have a pretty big range, but we finished well below the open price and almost down a low of yesterday. So not a particularly constructive looking day on the Dow when all is said and done. We did finish up a little bit, but that's that candle is not a very nice looking candle. Again, a lot of the selling occurred going into the close there. Again, the Qs, they were slightly down, ended slightly down, did try to stage a rally. Again, we're right down into some area here where there should be some support, but looks like we even violated that area. And we'll see what happens tomorrow. Facebook had some good earnings, or at least some earnings that people at least seem to like, but we'll see what happens as we get more earnings tomorrow. That has been a source of a lot of volatility. And you can see here the Qs again breaking down, losing this 320 level, and looking like we're heading lower. The SPY again tried to stage a rally, just really well off the high, and pretty much of an indecision candle, finishing down just barely up on the day, but well off, like I said, well off the high. Again, not a great looking way to finish the day if you were wanting to be a bull. And again, this close here below these areas of prior support, again, not very constructive, probably heading lower as well. Depending on what's, again, it really depends on maybe what Amazon and Apple say tomorrow after the close. The IWM probably fared the worst here, almost down 0.5%. Again, tried to stage a rally, failed, and rolled over. And this 190 level that was pretty important has also broken down here. So again, possible retracement here down to this 200-day moving average on the IWM. We did get a bit of a reprieve here on the VIX, today. So a bit of an inside day. See what, that's sort of indecision. And the dollar, again, super strong today. Look at this thing, just breaking out. Again, yields dropping in other countries, making the US dollar look more attractive. So it looks really good there, at least really strong. Not great for, shouldn't be great for gold and silver, because typically when strength in the US dollar undermines those prices. You can see here Bitcoin again struggling to be a store of value, just sort of chopping in this just under this $40,000 level. Okay, so let's take a quick look at some things that I'm watching, and some observations here. As I mentioned, with a strong dollar, it's just punishing gold. So gold lost this level of 1900 here today, and dropping lower. Again, just not looking very good here. Oil's kind of hanging in there. I mean, I think the energy is still a challenge. The problem with the markets when they sell off is that no matter what the underlying commodity does, for example, the commodity space, sometimes you'll just get selling across the board. You know, you could have oil going up, which of course might be positive for the energy sector. But if there's just broad-based selling, sometimes there's margin calls that have to be met. They just sell everything. It doesn't really matter. So again, this is AMLP, I should say. It's MLP ETF, but it's it's just hanging around here. Could be a good entry here at 38. BTU. This is a coal play again. Energy still a challenge regardless. I mean, Russia's cut off Poland and Belarus, I think, not Belarus, maybe Bulgaria. I know Poland for sure. Anyway, so energy still making a splash, and still a challenge in the market. I still think CCJ has some potential here. We might have another leg down on it, unfortunately. I don't have any now, but 25 could be a level where it needs to hold. Copper, again, this is came down, tested the 200-day. Again, not a great day, despite the fact that there is a need for a shortage of copper. Silver, same comment as gold, just selling off, selling off. This is one index that's actually going up. Of course, this is an inverse ETF, so when the NASDAQ goes down, this one goes up. And of course, that's been a nice play after we had a bit of a pullback Monday, of course, but then Tuesday just ripped. Tesla's been really getting beaten up, I think, and drawn into this Twitter takeover, and concerns maybe about Elon's lack of maybe attention to Tesla while he's playing around with Twitter. Anyway, whatever reason you want to come up with this, but Tesla just got slaughtered on Tuesday. USO, again, we're kind of just stuck in a range here on the oils, and XLE, again, not really doing anything, kind of a reflection of what's going on with the oil price, just sort of drifting sideways a bit. And healthcare, just still struggling to find a bottom here. So that's it, everybody. I think the best thing to do is kind of step back from the market and let the earnings flow through and see what happens next. So maybe take some positions after some earnings have been released, like Facebook. We'll look at where Facebook tops out tomorrow, and then maybe sell some short-term calls above it, and try to collect the premium. That's what I've been doing during these earnings seasons. Kind of take the risk out of holding any kind of position through earnings. Just if you were to have gone on Netflix, if you'd have taken sold some puts on Netflix really, really far out of the money, you'd still be in underwater and still be hurting a lot. So this season, it seems like there's full of surprises. Okay, so wrapping things up here, what economic events do we have to watch here coming up? Thursday, we've got real GDP in the morning. That'll be something that'll be kind of interesting, might move the markets. Friday, this is a number that an index that the Fed usually watches to gauge how inflation is in the marketplace. So core personal consumption expenditure price index, how much people are paying for goods month over month. That'll be something could move the markets Friday morning. Lots of earnings on deck: MasterCard, McDonald's, Twitter before the market open tomorrow. Apple, Amazon, Intel, Roku after the market closes. Apple and Amazon certainly will be interesting to watch. That's AAPL. Friday, we've got a couple of big oil companies: Exxon, Mobil, Chevron, Phillips 66, and we've got, of course, some healthcare stocks: Bristol Myers and ABBV. And earnings, just wrapping up the week in terms of where we've been. Earnings season so far has been led to some pretty volatile price action, crazy moves, like, for example, Facebook up pretty big after hours here today, just based on they didn't disappoint as badly as people we're expecting them to. And of course, versus sort of Netflix response, which has just been an absolute bloodbath and continues to go lower. Markets overall, I would say we are still trending downward with that big Tuesday sell-off. We did try to stage a bit of a rally today, but it did continue to, it sold off into the close. So kind of a trend that we'll probably continue to see into the latter part of the week here. So that's it, everybody. 8 o'clock, pre-market show starts live on YouTube. Hopefully we'll see you there. Everybody can join in. And then, of course, 9:30, we will be trading the market open in our trading room. So have a great rest of the evening, everybody. And hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.